at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks on the first full Monday of fall. And boy, I woke up this morning and had a nice 64 degrees outside of my house. Window open weather. That's saving the air conditioned weather there. But I know a guy who, as the cool down starts, so does his whining. Galen Unall from Life South joins us. Galen, this cool down, you see the writing on the wall, and I know you hate the cold weather.
Yeah, it's inevitable, isn't it, I guess? Every year it comes, and it always seems to surprise me. Takes me off guard. So,
and you know it's coming,
and it still takes. Right now, and I've got a hoodie on.
And you know it's coming. It
takes you off guard. I'm going to put on gloves. Yeah. I've never said that I'm very intelligent. Nope.
So you and I had we were able to do the football game Friday night. You know, I thought it was going to cool off on us Friday night, but it didn't. It stayed warmer than it should have, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's probably because of the shellacking, that the constant smacking that Westport was taking from Hawthorne. You know, kept the friction up. That's what kept it warm, probably.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, I think the weather's kind of stupid to talk about, but yeah, I mean, the football game was it was entertaining, if nothing else. I mean, the trick plays by Westport made it fun to watch, but yeah, it was a pretty dominating performance by Hawthorne. Went back and watched the film, and the lines for Hawthorne, both the offensive line and defensive line, just really dominated that game, and they controlled the line of scrimmage, 2 yards into the other side of Westport every play. So that was the difference in that football game.
I thought that it was a well-played game by Hawthorne. Westport was just overmatched, I thought. And so, but I think it's going to be the only game you and I do all season, maybe.
Yeah, it is. I think it's official. We're going to switch over and cover the Bellevue Rattlers Money Talks, and John Ivory's going to be back in the as my sidekick in the booth. And I think the Rattlers are embracing WOCA, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun to finish the season with them.
By the way, Rattlers team that won at Lake Weir over the weekend. So a Rattler team that, as you said, could be undefeated coming into certain times of the season, and it looks like they are.
Well, they've got that one loss.
Oh, that's right.
They shouldn't have lost to Crystal River.
Crystal River, that's right. They lost to Crystal River.
Yeah, this week we're down in Springstead, so we're on the road, and I'll get to see Ackerman's offense. That it seems like every Saturday morning my whole life is dominated by one guy filling up my messages with how great Brady Ackerman's offense is. So I'll get to see it firsthand Friday night.
Well, now you don't have to worry about those messages anymore because he'll be in the booth with you too. That helps a
little
bit.
But he still wears me out. He
does. Still wears you out.
Oh yeah.
He just doesn't know when to let it go. Is what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
No, and he knows this. I'm a ride or die guy with John Ivory. I love the man's passion. He doesn't think he has more opinions than you and I combined, and they're not opinions to him; they're convictions, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, over the weekend, Trinity Catholic, a 28-21 victory over Clearwater Calvary Christian on Friday night. They score a winning touchdown to go away to win that football game. Denellen blanks Forest 20-0 over the weekend. Not a surprise there. I'm telling you, I know you tell me it's OCA, But all they're doing is throwing 60 and 70 up on people with no points being scored on them.
Yeah, and they're playing the same teams twice, right? I mean, they've already beat all these teams. So, yeah, I mean, good for OCA. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them. They haven't played anybody in the county in quite a while, but good for them.
You can only beat the teams put in front of you, Galen. That's all you can do.
Yeah, but at a high school level, you control who's putting in front of you. You know that, right?
Well, I'm well aware, sir.
It's not like the schedule is made by somebody in New York City. No, the head coach makes the schedule.
So, and of course, I as I was coming back from the high school game, I don't know if you got caught in the traffic either, because I come through Citron and I come the back way through Spar and Anthony. And I got some traffic back and forth going to that area because I guess the football game had just got over between North Marion and Vanguard. Vanguard put it on North Marion, and 17-point victory by Vanguard. And from my understanding, from talking to people, the game wasn't that close.
Yeah. I think again it's Vanguard, and they've proven once again that they are the class of the county. After last year with the upstart Gunellen Tigers, and they have a young quarterback. He's a sophomore. I don't think he's a quarterback.
Fred Gaskin.
And I've met Fred. I've known Fred. He played for the Wolfpack with Steve Wren. He's actually zoned for Westport. I'm surprised he's not at Westport, but he wanted to go play for where his dad played and all his cousins played, and he's an absolute stud. I'm not sure what his true position is. He's got great hands. He's fast. He's strong. There's not a whole lot he can't do on the football field, and he's just a sophomore, and the future's bright for that kid. And he works really, really hard. So. Loves the game of football.
He finished 9 of 13 for 216 yards with touchdown passes of 95 yards, 21 yards, and 34 yards.
And that's how Vanguard's going to beat you, is that because they have so many athletes all over the field. With Elijah Hopkins out there, who again, another transfer from Westport. But you look all over that field, and there are nothing but playmakers on that field. And I'm not surprised by it. And then again, Philip Fulmer. How about that? Farmer's got his guys going, and he always does. They're going to be strong because he loves the weight room, and he's going to have a bunch of dogs, and he proves it every year.
Here's the problem. Vanguard finished. Are you ready with it? Are you sitting down? Are you in your car so you can't wreck or anything? Pull over maybe. They finished with 25 penalties. They had 15 penalties for 121 yards before the first half was over.
Sure.
If they don't clean up those penalties, I don't care how many athletes they got or where they can go with the ball. You get up against competition in the state playoffs, 25 penalties, you're losing that football game, and it's not even going to be close.
Well, it's cost them. They've been to the regional finals 4 years in a row. The only team in the state of Florida to do that. And they've lost every one of those games. And 3 of the 4 were penalties. You could put your finger right on where they lost that game, whether that game was at home, within Cozy Perry, or whether it was, the only one they didn't lose on a penalty was at Orlando Jones, and that was because they took Curry out and put Rucker in and ran a draw with a cornerback and a wildcat. That didn't work at all. So. Again, I'm not surprised by that. So, but that's and Farmer believes that his guys got to be aggressive. These guys got to play hard. They got to play with that mentality, and it comes with a price. It just does. So, you live that way and you die that way.
When I say the game was not as close as the final score indicated, 36-19, it's because it was 36-3 with about 3 minutes to go in the football game.
Right.
North Marion scored 2 trash touchdowns towards the end of the game after Vanguard had sat its quarterback, sat everybody it could sit.
Right.
And, garbage time, you get some touchdowns like that. But it was really a dominant performance by the Vanguard Knights over North Marion.
Yeah, and again, Vanguard's the best team in the county. I think they're going to win their district again. Obviously, I think they're going to go deep in the playoffs. Yeah, it's a team I know very, very well. I'm not surprised by this. Again, I think Farmer is a very, very, very good football coach.
We're going to take a break.
And more importantly, people want to play for him.
Yeah.
Right? He very rarely loses, 10 or 11 guys to
transfer. Exactly. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Galen. We wrap it up at the 8:30 hour. We got more right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday. Galen, it's just for a few more minutes. So, Galen, it's not very often that I can say this. I mean, it's often I can say it about me, but not very often I can say it about both of us at the same time. We were wrong. And I mean, it wasn't even close with how bad wrong we were. I'm talking about the U.S. Ryder Cup's 19-9 shellacking of Europe. I mean, it wasn't even close. They went out 3-1 in the opening matches of the first day. Never looked back. Yesterday was just a formality. They had to win 3.5 points out of 12. They crushed and won. Of the 12 matches, they won 9 points out of the 12 to go up 19-9. It was just a complete victory by the U.S. team, and a lot of camaraderie and a lot of commitment that I didn't think was there.
Winning solves problems, right?
Yes.
Like if they were down by 2, it could have been a different situation, But again, I didn't even watch Sunday, so I don't even really care what happens. But when I was watching Friday and Saturday, what I saw is the golf course was so tailor-made for the U.S. team. The way they were just hitting it as far as they could. And, usually what the Europeans are better at are and making the better approaches, but second shots didn't matter at Whistling Straits. Once you got to the green, everything was about even, and the United States putted the ball a little better. But Bryson DeChambeau was there one shot before you were. He outdrove one guy. He drove a green, and the guy still had a 5-iron going into the green. That's all you needed to know. I mean, it was built for the United States, and again, I think this is a shot in the arm for the Ryder Cup, not necessarily for the U.S. golf because it was already the best, but for the Ryder Cup itself. I think it was it was big.
I tell you, the prevailing as they interviewed the competitors as they come off the greens, they kept saying, "What drove this win? What drove this win?" And they drove this dominance on day 3. You'd already dominated day 1 and 2, but you came out and you dominated day 3. And Colin Morikawa said it, Scotty Scheffler said it, Brooks Koepka said it, Bryson DeChambeau said it. Oh, by the way, and they did a hug it out at the end of it as they were getting their awards and everything. Brooks and DeChambeau did a ceremonial hug out. Yeah, I know, it was ridiculous. It was the dumbest thing. It was dumb.
I saw that.
It was so creative.
And again, winning solves problems.
It was so
They
creative.
wouldn't have hugged it out if they lost.
No.
And again, good for the U.S., but let's just not make it what it isn't.
But what?
So does that mean I could say Brooksy now?
Yeah, I guess. But what the guys said to a man is, we wanted to continue with this onslaught, to slam the door shut, keep the foot on the throat, whatever hyperbole you want to use, to show that American golf will be here for the next 20 years and we'll be the face of it.
Yeah, and they did that. Again, no doubt. But they were already the face of American golf.
No, they want to be the face of world golf and let Europe know that Europe's secondary.
But the PGA Tour's always been the highest level.
Certainly.
I mean, nothing changed. What changed is they came out and had a dominant performance. And again, we'll see how it plays in 2 years.
Speaking of another
Good for the U.S.
Yeah.
Good for the U.S.
Speaking of another dominant performance, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to Los Angeles, and who's the MVP of the league right now? I'm thinking Matthew Stafford looked like he's all world all of a sudden. He's redefined his career now. He's with a team that he seems to be able to win with. I mean, Matthew Stafford, he's the NFL MVP.
Well, he's not. I mean, the quarterback from Buffalo is the MVP. But yeah, I think the Bucs went in there. They were hobbled. They were down 3 defensive backs. Their best defensive end was out. I mean, there are all kinds of excuses to lay. Their second best wide receiver was out. Gronkowski got hurt in L.A. and that crowd was phenomenal. So I mean, we'll see how long that lasts. So, but good for the Rams. I think the Bucs will see them again this year.
I believe so. We had talked about it could be a precursor to the NFC Championship. Now, a guy that you think
they were playing special teams guys in the defensive backfield in the second half.
A guy that
let's take a deep breath.
A guy that you think, well, that's spoken like a true Bucs fan. A guy that you think is overrated, but they left him 36 seconds on the clock last night. He was able to get 2 plays off, get a field goal to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Aaron Rodgers marched it down the field on his, as a homecoming of sorts, and he had family in the stands and all because he grew up in that area. Are you ever going to give this guy his due and say that he's Mr. Clutch and he's the best quarterback in the league right now?
Well, he's not the best quarterback in the league. If anybody is, it's
Josh Allen.
The guy from Josh Allen or Matthew Stafford. Did you watch the rest of the game or just the second half or just the fourth?
No, I watched the whole game where he was terrible most of the game.
Okay. Okay. All right.
No, I'm just poking. Again, I'm just poking the bear. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, again, he won the game. That's all that matters. Good for him. I mean, I read some article about once again Aaron Rodgers proves while he's the best player in the NFL. I'm like, oh, okay. 38 seconds got that done. Then they must think that Kirk Cousins is, or
Matty Ice. That's how he got his name, Matty Ice.
Right, or the quarterback from Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Jackson.
Because his field goal kicker kicked the 66-yarder. I mean, that happens in the NFL.
It does. Now, you want me to even poke the bear more? You know Chris Doering, former Florida Gator great.
Did he take off his shirt?
He can. Former Florida great, former owner of a radio station right here in Ocala, and now a talking head for ESPN's SEC coverage. He came out with his top 5 in the SEC, And I'm only going to tell you the top 4 because that's all that really matters. His top 4 teams in the SEC: Georgia, Ole Miss, then Alabama, then Florida. Alabama, the 3rd best team in the SEC, according to Chris Doering. I'm wondering how much of that is homerism, wanting Alabama to be down a notch because of Florida, or if he really believes Georgia's the best team in the SEC and Ole Miss is better than Alabama.
I think a little bit of it is he just needs to get clicks and get some pub. You and I know Chris, and he is not afraid of publicity, no matter how it comes his way. I'm surprised he kept his shirt on during the broadcast. So I have had more than a few beers with that guy, and he'll take his shirt off first.
Quick.
There's never a doubt about that. He will rip that thing off.
But is it time to seriously consider that Georgia may be a notch above Alabama, or is it Alabama still got to lose before that happens?
Why? Who did that? Give me Georgia's wins. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They beat Clemson.
Okay. And what has Clemson done since this?
Reeling from that Georgia loss. They still haven't overcome that Georgia loss. They're still in shock over it.
So give me the win. Give me the best win Georgia's got.
Clemson.
Okay, that's not a very good win.
It's better than beating Florida State.
Well, yeah. So no, I mean everybody's beating Florida State. Florida State hadn't beaten anyone. They lost their spring game against one another. I think that game ended up being a tie. Again, these are.
What do you mean? They've destroyed Clemson, 10-3. It was a destruction. They destroyed UAB 56-7. University of Alabama Birmingham, powerhouse. Then they went into South Carolina comes into the swamp, gets the brakes beat off of them, 40-13. And then Georgia travels to Vanderbilt, a tough a place on the road to play as any place in the world, and they win 62-0. I mean, wait, they play Arkansas this weekend. I guess we'll find out a lot this weekend.
No, we won't. They're playing Arkansas. Arkansas's really, again.
Arkansas is the 8th best team in the country according to the polls.
Yeah, I think that's also artificially inflated. Again, because no one else is very good in the country. The SEC is so dominant right now that no one else, I don't even think, plays football. I don't even think they're playing football in the ACC. I think they're going out there with, in the ACC, I think they're
basketball
playing 9
season.
guys against 11.
Basketball season in the ACC.
But again, I mean, it makes it, he got us talking about it, so therefore he did his job. Alabama is the best football team in the country.
Not according to Georgia fans.
How many teams make the playoffs from the SEC? Or couldn't make it.
I mean, it's a legitimate possibility. But the people in that room, the powers that be in that room, will not allow that to happen. But
no.
But in a perfect world, it is a possibility.
If they were to go to 8, if they were to go to 8 teams, six SEC teams would make the 8.
At least 4. At least 4 would, and that's why everybody says that they want to go to 8. And I'm going, they're not going to 8. People go, oh, they're going to 8. I go, they're going to 8. Half the field every year would be SEC schools, which means
it already is half the field.
Right, which means every year the SEC would still win like they do now.
Right. So there's always been half. Like one year there was 3. But this year, there could legitimately be, you could make a case that 6 out of the top 8 teams in the country come from the SEC.
Well, Oregon would disagree with you. Hey, tell me where the Bloodmobile is.
All right, I will, if you're going to feel that way about it. Hey, today we're actually at the Lowe's out in Summerfield, so come by and see us there. But as always, we're right there on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. Just give the gift of life and donate blood.
Galen Unall from Life South joins us every week. Every day. Galen, talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, y'all.
We'll be right back after this timeout. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. You're listening to Ocala Talks on WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The center-left Socialist Democrat Party, or SDP, clinched a narrow victory in Germany's historic federal election on Sunday. Chancellor Olaf Scholz is scheduled to form a new government coalition and lead Europe's largest economy into the post-Merkel era. SPD won 25.9% of the vote, and Merkel's CDU bloc had 24.1% following the elections. As the FBI continues to look for Brian Laundrie, the person of interest in the Gabby Petito homicide, a man familiar with the area being searched, Florida cattle rancher Alan McEwen tells Fox News he seriously doubts Brian is in the nature preserve.
But we're out there riding for 12, 13 hours a day, starting at daylight. Time we get in at night, I don't see anybody can make it out here for 10 days, 5 days. There's no water supply, there's no fresh springs, there's no stores available, unless you go 12 miles either direction. There's just no possible way.
USA Radio News.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more and check availability. That's mysolarbackup.com. Look for the free report, Crisis Cooling, how to make absolutely sure your meat, milk, and medicines stay safe and cool in any power outage. Yours free at mysolarbackup.com.
Lauren Carr, College of Central Florida Corporate College, will be Tom's guest on Wednesday, September 29th at 10:30 a.m., discussing higher education happenings. She will share how employers can support their team members through customized training that benefits their company, and also affordable training programs on everything from Excel to leadership training. Again, that's September 29th at 10:30 a.m. The College of Central Florida and your friends here at WOCA The Source provide this information to let you know what's happening at the College of Central Florida.
Gene Powell pasture mowing, 352-629-2440. A few of our tractor services include bush hogging, disking, and rototilling. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are family-owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm-ready. Powell Gene, Gene, at yahoo.com, 352-629-2440. Gene Powell pasture mowing, 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
It's officially fall, and that means there's a whole long list of new specials this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. You want a sample? Well, here's an idea that's savings waiting for you at Bob Wine's. A fabulous selection of crepe myrtles, regularly $9.99 to as much as $399. They're all 50% off. Now, Bob has a huge selection of those gorgeous fall garden mums, many colors. You can get 10 smaller ones